Do you watch Strictly? Well, if you do, then cast your mind back, about 18 years, and you will of course remember that song getting its debut play on the Halloween Strictly on October 30th, 2006. That's David Webb, and before coming around again, you were listening to the ever so sweet Greg, who assures me that he'll be back on your radio next Monday at about 8 p.m. Well, hello, good evening, welcome to Freedom FM's Night Cruise, 2 hours of the best romance, relaxing and chill tracks to connect you with your bestest memories of the slow sets of the 90s and the noughties. My name is Feargal, thank you for joining me this evening, and you know what? As well as playing some great songs, I feel like for once I've managed to throw a few decent ideas at the wall and planned out an adequate show for you and I tonight. Now, if you're still here after midnight, well, we're going to play a game called Triple Threat, a game where you'll get to hear 3 different songs at 3 different speeds, all smushed into one short snippet, and all you got to do is tell me what songs they are. And in this hour, you and I are going to get some Tuesday evening shifting on, and if that isn't ringing any bells, don't worry, I'll explain more about that in a moment. And if you want to reach out to me for any reason whatsoever this evening, then text or WhatsApp me often and early on 086 206 8888. You can send me an email to hello@freedomfm.ie, and if you're on the socials, then search for voice actor Fergs on Threads, Blue Sky, and of course Instagram. And not only that, I want you to do me a favour. Go to the Play or App Store on your device and download the Freedom FM app, where not only can you pause and rewind live radio, you can also catch up on all of your favourite Freedom FM shows at any time you want. Right, my friends, how about you and me get together and make some memories, shall we? And let's start that with the chimes. It's the world famous, I promise you, Freedom FM's world famous Night Cruise, where a little bit later on I'll give you a shot at this week's Triple Threat game. But first off, as it's a Tuesday evening, I really feel I want to get you in on some Tuesday shifting action. Now, if you're new to the cruise, Tuesday shifting doesn't sound like it might be to your taste. Let me explain how it works, and hopefully you'll think about getting involved. So, to get a Tuesday shift on with me, you'll need to be, like me, at work this Tuesday evening. And if you are, then get in touch with me on text or WhatsApp to 086 206 8888. And when you do, you're going to tell me who you are, where you're working, who you're working with, and what, if anything, is getting you through your Tuesday evening shift. So, if that is you, then get in touch on 086 206 8888 on text or WhatsApp. And look, if you are WhatsApping, then why not send a voice note, because I love hearing from you. 086 206 8888, and let's get some shifting on, shall we? And number 4 from October 1997. And you remember what was going on back then, don't you? Mike Tyson, well, he had to pay a fella called Mitch Green $45,000 in damages after fighting with him in a street brawl. Michael Schumacher won the F1 title again. Louise Woodward, remember her, the 19-year-old UK nanny in the US? Well, she was sentenced to life in prison for the murder of a baby, which she was eventually cleared of. And of course, Natalie released Torn. Anyway, this is Freedom FM's Night Cruise, where it's time now to get some Tuesday shifting on. And you know what? I love this bit of the show because I'm always fascinated at just how many of you are at work on a Tuesday night and how many interesting jobs you do. So let's get started this evening by saying good evening to Eric Gregory, who's been in touch on WhatsApp to 086 206 8888 to say, Feargal, this evening I'm working in the reception of an A&E in Dublin. It's very quiet here at the moment and I'm enjoying my break with a cup of tea, some biscuits and Freedom FM on the actual radio rather than my phone. Thanks for getting in touch, Eric, and I hope it remains nice and quiet for you and the rest of your team this shift. Now, Abby Banks has also been in touch on WhatsApp from Baldonnel in West Dublin. Feargal says, Abby, can you say hello to me? I'm working in online fulfillment tonight. I'm on shift until 6 a.m. and it's your games and the music on Freedom FM that will get me through my shift tonight. Thank you for getting in touch, Abby, and I hope you have a good shift this evening. And finally, for this round, I want to say hello and good evening to Mick Kennedy, who is in Newtown Castle West this evening. Feargal says, Mick, on this WhatsApp, this evening I'm doing my job as a night support worker in a residential care home in the town. I'm on break at the moment, and it's my colleagues and the work that I do that get me through my shifts. Thanks for getting in touch, Mick, and I hope you have a quiet one this evening. Now, listen up. If you're at work this evening, we want you to get some Tuesday shifting on. So text or WhatsApp me on 086 206 8888 and tell me who you are, where you're working, who you're working with, and what, if anything, is getting you through your night shift. But you gotta be quick because our final round of Tuesday shifting is coming up right after we lend an ear to PM Dawn. It's the Night Cruise on Freedom FM, and remember, on the way after midnight, I'm going to give you a crack at this week's triple threat game. But before I do that, I've got a few more Tuesday shifting mentions to get through, so let's not waste any more of your precious time and start by saying hello to Tim Lang, who's been in touch this evening. Fergsy says on this WhatsApp, at the moment, I'm doing the warehouse replenishment stock take in a depot in Lucan. That means I check the stock, and when I'm off the floor in about an hour, I'll spend the rest of the shift ordering what we need for delivery tomorrow evening and on Thursday morning. It's the music on Freedom FM and the fact that I can listen to you on the office radio and not just on the app for now that's getting me through my shift. Thank you for getting in touch, Tim, and I hope when you get back into the office and the order's processed, you'll be able to get your feet up and enjoy the rest of the show. Now, Dawn McKee has also been in touch with me. Fergsy says on this WhatsApp, I'm an on-call care worker across South Dublin tonight. That means I'm at our company's base, and if any of our clients call, I'll drive over and take care of them. It's the music, coffee and chocolate that are getting me through the shift. Thank you for getting in touch, Dawn, and stay safe on the roads if you've got to go out tonight. Now, let me tell you, if you liked hearing about what other people are doing at work on a Tuesday night, well, you know what you got to do. Talk to your friends and tell them to listen in and join us again next Tuesday just after 11 when we will do it all over again. She'll be on stage in Skokie, Illinois in a few hours' time. And when I looked that up, I was thinking to myself, where do I know Skokie, Illinois from? Then I got it. 1995's Usual Suspect movie, when Verbal Kind was spinning to Detective Kujon. A few times he mentioned that he was in a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois, and it was one of those names of a place that just stuck in my mind. Anyway, from the same year, 95, that's Joan Osborne, and one of us getting the second hour of the Night Cruise underway. Morning, welcome to Wednesday, 9th of October, and before you know it, the shops will be playing your beloved Christmas tunes and we all get to play Whamageddon once again. Anyway, thank you for joining me this morning. My name's Feargal, and between now and 1, I want to get you in on our triple threat game. Now, if you're new to the show and are wondering what triple threat means, listen up and I'll do my best to explain it for you. You see, just before the show started, I popped into the production studio where I rummaged around in the cobweb and dust that is our record library. And while there, I dug out 3 famous 90s or noughties romance or relaxing songs. I put them on the turntable, I slowed one down, sped one up and left one as it was, and then I mushed them into one short snippet, which I'll play for you in a moment. And your challenge is to throw some light on the snippet and tell me what 3 songs they are. Right, with all that clear, I want you to put your razor-sharp mind to decoding these 3 songs. So if those 3 songs ring a bell with you and you fancy being with a shot at possibly winning yourself a name check on the radio just before 1 a.m, then shoot me over a WhatsApp to 086 206 8888 and tell me what 3 songs these are. And if I get any wrong answers, I'll tell you some of those right after we hear from William Orbit. You're listening to The Night Cruise from Freedom FM, and if you're a regular listener, welcome back. And if you're new, thank you for joining me this morning. And the good news is you still got time to get involved in this week's triple threat game. 3 songs, 3 different speeds, 1 short snippet, and all you got to do is identify what 3 songs are in this snippet. believe it or not, I got some wrong guesses, including Falling by Alicia Keys, Everything by Mr. Michael Bublé, and We Belong Together by Mariah. So, my friends, with those wrong guesses out of the way, let's have another listen to this week's 3 songs. Now, if you fancy possibly winning yourself a name check on the radio before one and you think you know who they are, then let me hear from you on WhatsApp 086 206 8888. That number again is 086 206 8888. From winter 1997, that's the Old Saints and Never Ever on Freedom FM's Night Cruise, where so many of you wise night owls have been on with the correct answer for this week's Triple Threat game. And to refresh your memory, here's a reminder of the 3 songs you were trying to identify. Like I said, so many of you got them correct, but the computer here in the studio only lets me see 4 names at any one time, and that means I can only say hello, good morning, and well done to Frank Stewart, who sent his answer in from Raheny, Brenda Webster, who reached out to me from Capantili, Ed Richards, who got in touch from Blanchardstown, and Lily Noble, who's in Cabra this morning, who all correctly said that this morning's Triple Threat are... Hang on a moment. Before I tell you, can you do me a solid, please? And if you enjoyed playing Triple Threat, then grab a friend and tell them about the show, and come back next Wednesday just after midnight when we'll do this game all over again. As for this week, in reverse order, the Triple Threat are Robson and Jerome, What Becomes of the Broken Hearted, Sinead O'Connor, Nothing Compares to You, and Tasmin Archer, Sleeping Satellite. That was the last of this week's Triple Threat. That's Robson and Jerome, and What Becomes of the Broken Hearted tells me that is all the mess I can make of your radio for this week. Thank you for your company, both you and your messages made to the show as always. Nikki B, she'll do the next night cruise at 11 p.m. tonight, and the bold Aidan Power will be your breakfast server from 8. And up next, Darren takes over with Essential Beats right here on Freedom FM. And remember, you can download the Freedom FM app from your Play and App stores today. And you need to do that so you can pause and rewind live radio, as well as listen back to your favorite Freedom FM shows. Now, listen up, because I need to tell you that I'll be back here next Monday morning at midnight with another night cruise. Until then, thank you for your time this time. So until next time, take care of yourselves and, of course, each other.